It's just the beginning and the start. But to Bears fans, every game is telltale. Yep. So after seeing Andy Dalton live, I think what Bears fans want to know is, what does Dalton give you that at this point Justin Fields does not?
Well, that's a good question. I understand it. But when you look back and you say, and after you're able to watch the tape and see where you're at, you know that, we talked about, and I brought it up in regards to producing and scoring touchdowns and winning. And so we're always evaluating that. But I thought that Andy did a pretty good job yesterday of being able to, get the ball out to guys where he needed to in certain situations. You look back, and the biggest error that he had was that interception to start the game, and sometimes those can be big ones because that's a momentum deal right on third down. So, without getting into the comparisons too much, I just think that right now when we're evaluating Andy, that I thought he did a good job of being able to put us in good situations, and then using Justin when we did. Justin did well too.
That meshes with a prediction that I made before the season, that once the games start, even if the Bears lose by 20 like they did last night, the assessment will be Andy Dalton was fine. Because I think the Bears are determined to keep Justin Fields from being the starter as long as possible to ensure that he is as prepared as he can be for next year. This isn't about necessarily doing Andy Dalton favors. This isn't about trying to tank to get a higher draft position because the first-round pick belongs to the Giants next year. This is about keeping Justin Fields out of the fray. Look, Nagy knows how Patrick Mahomes benefited from not playing as a rookie in 2017, and I think they continue to be determined to do that. That's the bottom line. And nobody expected them to beat the Rams last night, although when everybody on the NBC pregame show goes one way, I assume the other team is going to win. We're 2-0 so far, with everyone picking the winner eventually. Got a little nervous on Thursday night, not nervous at all last night. So, nobody expected the Bears to win that game. The real test this week is the home opener against the Bengals and how loud it may get at Soldier Field if the Bears offense is struggling against a team not as good as the Rams, Charean.
Two things, Mike. One, I was kind of surprised that Fields didn't come in late in the game. They were down 20 points with 3:17 left, and they sent Dalton back out there. And maybe that's it. Maybe you don't want to scar the kid at this point. But what gives Nagy the best chance to return next year? Is it playing the rookie and saying, hey, we made some strides with the rookie, we've got to come back and get another year? Or is it sitting him saying, okay, we sat the rookie, now give him a chance to come play for us next year?
Well, I think that unless the Bears are completely and totally dysfunctional from the top of the organization down, and I can't say with confidence they're not, the idea that Matt Nagy won't be back next year, once you authorize the trade up to get Justin Fields, if you are not all in for at least 2 years with Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace, you shouldn't be doing it. Because if you have a new coach and or a new GM after this season, there's a chance that the new people won't want Justin Fields. You want people who are committed to Justin Fields for at least 2 years. Let's see what he does next year. And I think they get judged on what he does next year. That's all the more reason to treat this kind of like a red shirt year. Do what you can, win where you can, try to get to the playoffs, steal that 7th seed like they did last year at 8-8. Big Cat thinks they came up with that 7th seed just so the Bears can get to the playoffs once in a while. But next year is when they get judged on Justin Fields, I believe. And if Nagy thinks Justin Fields will be better next year by not playing this year, if he genuinely believes that, then it makes sense.
Well, and I look at this roster, I just don't see a lot on this roster to make me think they're anywhere close to contending. I mean, we talk about the offense all we want. I thought the defense was pretty much non-existent yesterday. And I get it. Matthew Stafford threw some deep balls. That's what he does. They've got a great offense. I get all that. But where was Khalil Mack? I mean, the guy had 1 tackle. It's almost like he didn't play. They've got some big-name players on defense, but I didn't see any of those guys show up. And unless they play better on defense, which has long been, as we know, the Bears' signature, they're not going to win very many games, Mike. This might be a team that may be down there with 4, 5, 6 wins after this season.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.